Hi everyone, good evening. It is Thursday and we are back with the series Women and Empowerment. And I'm so excited to be here again. For the ones who are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Selina from Subtle Balance. I'm a coach, I'm a life coach. My mission is to help people become the best version of themselves by gaining more self-love and overcoming codependency and breaking free from toxic relationships. I started this series because I wanted to create more awareness about women and empowerment, and I wanted to use this platform to go all over the world and bring strong and empowered women together and use this platform to communicate about it, especially now during times of COVID. This week or today we are going all the way up to California. I'm going to go live with Luz Hernandez from Yes Girl Life. She's all about empowering young girls and I follow that philosophy entirely. You cannot start young enough. So I'm going to try and bring her online connection because sometimes that is an issue. So if everything is up and running, she will be here like in about a few seconds. Hey!
Hello, Selena.
Hi, Luz. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And you?
I'm fine as well. Thank you very much. Oh, I like your
You're
background
welcome.
as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to put myself a bit to the back. Yeah, that's better. Now we're fitting in the screen. So, gave a quick introduction about you and how you empower young girls. I'm going to give you the word, so take it away. Tell us all about you. Who are you? What are you doing?
Awesome. My name is Luz Hernandez, and I do girls empowerment workshops. I started this journey in August, and the reason why I did it is because I listened to my inner voice. Listening to my inner voice that I needed to get out of my comfort zone and make an impact out there. I have two young, powerful young daughters, and I saw some things about confidence, about kindness, gratitude, that I said, I need to implement these tools in my daughters and make a difference. And this has been a wonderful journey for me. I've also had other girls come into my workshops and learn the tools. And I do want to empower one girl at a time with these for them to love themselves, authentically love themselves, how they are with the flaws, the imperfections, and just take action, take that imperfect action and get over the challenges, but also see those challenges as opportunities for growth.
Wow, I love
Yes.
that. So how old are your girls right now?
I have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old. So preteens and teen years already.
All right, you're hitting puberty already. That's
yes. With that, we have other challenges as well, as they hit the teenage years.
Yeah, that's exactly. That was what I was about to say. I have a son. He's 10 and a half almost. In June, he will become 11. And then you feel things changing a little bit. So I recognize, and yeah, you have girls. Maybe that's different than boys. I don't know. But I do recognize that things are changing. Yeah, like crazy. It's just, it's a huge difference. But I love what you're doing. You cannot start young enough. And that's also something I believe when we start young enough and we make it part of our education and teach young children, it is so important. I'm going to just talk to the people who are tuning in because I see a lot of
awesome,
people
yeah.
in out. If you have questions for Luz or for me or about this topic, do leave them in the comments below. We will gladly discuss them. And I see a comment coming in from Keep It Simple with Carolina. She's saying, hi, Luz, so lovely to see you.
Hi, Carolina. So, a great friend. Yeah, so talking a little bit about starting them young, I think we make a bigger impact. I mean, I wish I had the tools at a young age to learn about self-care, especially about self-love, loving myself how I am, and also discovering my superpowers. What is it? What are my talents? What am I good at? And also share that with the world, share myself with the world. So starting at a young age and having that mindset about shifting your negative thoughts into positive ones and practicing your affirmations daily, I think will have a bigger impact out there in our world if we start with our young generations.
Yeah, true. I truly
Yeah.
believe as well, because we have part education at school. You learn a lot of things, but there are a lot of things missing. Like you were saying, loving yourself authentically, try daring to be yourself, trying to expose yourself to the world and showing who you are. And especially when we hit puberty, it's all kind of messy because you're not a child anymore, you're not an adult yet, so you're somewhere in between. Everything is changing, your body is changing, the way you see the world is changing, and it's, for me, it was kind of a messy moment in my life. So if you are not able to find like a parent or a tutor or a teacher that will guide you through that period, like love yourself, be yourself, and it's saying like it's actually kind of normal what you're going through, it can be a bumpy road. So I really love that part. I think when we teach our children young enough and we give them all the experience, not experience, but knowledge for themselves to find themselves further on in their life, it is very important. So I'm already a huge fan of what you're doing. But what made you start this journey? I hear you say on one hand my own daughters, but I also hear you say your own experience. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, as I've been doing the workshops, I've learned more about that I needed those tools. So healing my inner child, this is why I'm doing it as well. Because when I was young, I was very, I had a lot of self-doubt. My self-confidence wasn't high enough. I doubted even the step I would take forward. Everything was about fear and about shame.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it's part of the journey. Now I get to acknowledge those feelings through each workshop and use the tools. The wonderful part about each workshop is that we have an empowering craft, something that's visible, that reminds you of practicing those tools. Let me give you an example. So choose happiness. We have a little box and we put different things that make you happy. It could be a picture of yourself when you were a baby. It could be maybe confetti, something that symbolizes happiness. So when you're having those hard times or when you're feeling low, then you go into your toolbox, into your little box, and just remind yourself that, and make yourself happy. Remind yourself that this is gonna pass. It's okay. So pretty much normalize our emotions. And that's something that I suppressed a lot when I was young, when I was at a young age. I suppressed my emotions because many of the times my parents did what they could. You know, as parents, we know what we can, what we have, the tools that we have. So at a young age, I was told, don't speak or don't say this. So many of our emotions get suppressed, right? So now as an adult, I had a lot of trouble with self-confidence, being myself, expressing myself how I am, and loving myself for who I am. So that's another reason why I'm doing the workshops.
Yeah. And I can imagine, and thank you very much for sharing this in such a vulnerable way, because it's saying a lot about yourself, and I recognize parts of it as well. But then doing this, it is, on the other hand, quite rewarding, because you see those girls, you can share your experience by tools, by tricks, you can see them grow, actually. That's what I think you will see. But on the other hand, isn't it quite confronting from time to time as well? Like if you go back to your childhood or to your memories, isn't it quite confronting from time to time?
It is confronting. It is confronting. But also, I'm also doing coaching outside of doing the workshops. I'm doing my own personal coaching to work with that part of myself so I can heal. So when I go into the girls' workshops, I'm more authentic because I already work my stuff on the side. So I go to the girls authentic and also acknowledge that we need to normalize our emotions, not suppress them, but normalize who we are, because sometimes situations are going to happen when we are going to be stressed or we're going to have self-doubt. And it's normal. It's normal, right?
No, I couldn't agree more with you, because if you ask me nowadays, I'm a coach as well, but nowadays I think we live in a society we always have to be happy, happy mojo. Everything else is focused on being happy, creating happiness. If you're not in a situation or in a place where you are happy enough, why would you stay there? Why wouldn't you invest? It's all about happiness. But then I also think like you cannot be in a happy state 100% of the time. That's just not possible. But yet we try to create an artificial environment where where we are happy, and we teach our children the same. So I can resonate totally with what you're saying. And I think it's very important nowadays to teach our children, but also us as adults, and say to ourselves like, hey, I'm not okay. I'm not feeling well today, or I'm feeling kind of blue, or I'm feeling kind of sad. And you know what? That's okay. And I think that is something that is, I miss that. I miss that kind of authenticity nowadays. And if you bring that to children at a very young age, I think that's very essential to do.
It is. It is powerful. It is powerful when well, right now I'm doing virtual workshops, but when I see the girls dancing along with me, singing with me, and then listening from the parents saying, you know what, my daughter felt so comfortable with you that she was able to dance, she was able to speak up. And I said, that's wonderful. I mean, for me to have that safe space where the girls are able to express themselves truly how they are, that's the magic. That's the magic. And that's what my goal for each and every girl, to
Yeah.
be themselves, to love themselves for who they are. And also the tools about self-care, right? It doesn't have to be buying expensive clothes, buying the car of the year. No, self-care comes from taking a walk, even in your own community, taking a walk in the morning, or just doing a little meditation outside, right? 5 minutes. So we also integrate that part to the workshops, doing a meditation, being in contact with all your senses,
I love that
what
word.
you're feeling, how your smells, your body. So magic happens in each workshop. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it. And it's also very important to create a moment of being mindful, being present in the moment. And I think to teach that also at a young age, it's very important. Just sit down, like you're saying. How am I feeling? What am I experiencing? What's going on around me? And not always hasting and running around from here to there and back and forward. That's also something I had not a huge discussion, but I had a discussion with somebody previous time who said, like, should we integrate meditation in our school system? And I'm like, yeah, we definitely should do that. We should teach our children at a very young age how to meditate. Also with my son, I think I started when he was around 7 or 8 years old about the meditation, and we do it like it's a daily routine. But it is very important to give that tool with him as well. If he's not meditating, let's say he's gonna go with a friend for a weekend, he comes back and he says like, Mom, I really missed the meditation part. I really feel different in my body. I cannot explain what it is, but I feel it is like different. And those things are, yeah, it is exactly.
That's awesome. Awesome that
Teach
he
them
gets that
at a young
insight.
age, it becomes a pattern, and it's a healthy pattern that they take with them. And then you are working on self-care, like you say. Self-care isn't about escaping daily life, taking a massage, going to a spa, or whatever. Self-care is like investing in yourself. For me, it is investing in yourself, like every day, over and over again. How can I take care of myself in this moment, in this situation, with everything going around? And it's very powerful if you can do that. So yeah. um, when you speak about healing yourself, I think that's also a very interesting part of of your story. And I think we all go through it, no matter whether we are a coach, because sometimes I have the question like, people are being really surprised. Oh, you have a coach as well, but you are a coach. Why are you going to another coach? Why are you doing that? And then, like, it's not like we're superheroes. It's not because you're coaching other people that all of a sudden you know everything, you know the truth. Um, but the healing part is very, very important. Is there anything more you want to share about healing for yourself, or a message that you want to share with other people who are tuning in or watching later if we speak about healing?
Yeah, I think about healing is doing our inner work. So working with ourselves on a deeper way. So what is it that some situations trigger, right? So we can be, sometimes when we're joyful, we're happy, we are our authentic selves. But
Mhm.
when we're sad, when we're worried, when we're in self-doubt, then we're in our conditioned self. So these
Mhm.
are the layers that we need to break through in order to let our authentic self come out and shine, you know? So that's the inner work that we could do, even as adults, we can do. As we have put so many layers, just break through those layers and be ourselves.
Yeah. But it's also something that is, according my opinion, something that is
Uh-huh.
easier done because we say like we have to do like inner work. And sometimes I struggle with inner work, like you say, like sometimes you have days you just want to crawl covers, you don't want to see anyone, you want to come out, and you definitely don't want to do inner work, you want to avoid everything. Um, what are things that you can recommend if we speak about healing and doing more inner work?
It could be, well, self-care. Like on Fridays, I do my self-care day. I go to the beach, I tune out. My husband stays with the girls and he does the breakfast and the responsibilities for the house. And I go outside and do my self-care. So I do my stretch work, my meditation, my reflection on how the week went and look forward to what is it that I want to create next week. So that's doing the inner work, right? And also with practicing gratitude daily. At least say 5 things that you're grateful for, even in the morning or in the afternoon before you go to sleep. And meditation is very powerful, as you saw with your son, Selena. I mean, meditation clears your thoughts, even if
Yeah.
it's 5 minutes. I mean, start slowly, 5 minutes, clearing your thoughts, and little by little add up. It's
Mhm.
very beneficial. I felt more present, actually. I feel more present when I practice meditation.
Yeah, that's
So
a
those
huge.
are even, yeah, these are some of the tools that we also practice with the girls in each workshop. We have a workshop for meditation where we teach the girls how to do their breath work, right, from the belly and out. And then we have gratitude, how the importance of gratitude. The more grateful you are, the happier you are. It's not about what you have, but it's about seeing the little miracles every day in your life.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
happiness is a choice you make. So we teach the girls that they have the choice. They choose to be happy, right? We, of
Exactly.
course, we acknowledge the feeling, we release it, and then we choose, okay, am I gonna go and listen to my favorite tune to be in my joyful mood again? So these are the tools that we teach the girls,
Yeah,
and we put them in practice.
that is really, and it's so true what you're saying. Even being grateful and seeing the positive side, that's an option. It's a choice, and you have to practice for it daily. No matter how bad your situation is, there's always something to be grateful for, and I think that's very important. Tool to use in your daily life. I do it like every morning when I wake up and before I go to bed, I say things to myself that I'm grateful for. And I started in a moment in my life when I was feeling like kind of blue and not really, I wasn't happy where I was at that time. But those things, they are really life changers. They're deal breakers. The moment you start practicing gratitude, the way you change things inside yourself, it is a huge shift. And I can recommend it for everyone. So the girls you are working with, between what age are they?
They're from 9 to 15 years old.
Oh wow.
And I've been listening to my inner voice and I'm hearing a call to go even younger age. So I'm thinking of opening age group from 6 to 8 and then continue my 9 to 15 years old.
To separate it a little bit. Yeah, okay, okay.
Yes. Hmm.
And if people that are tuning in right now or afterwards, they say like, wow, what she's doing kind of amazing. I want to know more. I want to hear more about her. Can they contact you?
Yeah, of course. They can either send me a DM through Yes Girl Life, or they can always go to also my email, and I could leave all the information with you as
Oh,
well,
okay, that's
or
great.
post
Yeah,
it on the.
you can put it on there. So everything nowadays is online. So even people from Europe, they can tune in and follow workshops and do things with together with you, or how do I see it?
Yeah, so even right now with the pandemic, I mean, we are going virtual. So I'm doing all my workshops virtual. I can reach out to people all around the world and they could come and be present for my workshop.
No, that's so. Yeah, that's a benefit of nowadays doing everything digital, that you can go around the globe and work from home and meet people from all over the world like we are doing right now, and that connection is
Yes.
something completely different. Thank God that we still have that. So yeah, uh, I see a lot of people tuning in and coming. If you have questions, do leave them in the comments below. I saw a comment coming from Mizulia. Children having their voice is powerful. Yeah, I do think that as well. We should
Yes.
focus on those things well. So if we speak more about women and empowerment, the topic, because you're all about empowering young girls and women as well, because do you also work with parents, or is it only focused on the children?
I also started working with parents. So I'm doing creating vision boards, kind
Oh,
of like a little, I'm creating an atmosphere when we get to relax as parents, as moms. And the topics that I bring to the moms is from being overwhelmed to being your authentic self. So, how can we release some of the responsibilities or some of the beliefs that we put on ourselves? That we as moms, we have to do everything, do all the chores, make sure everyone's okay before we can take care of ourselves. We make sure everyone in our family is okay. So we work with those beliefs and we try to release them and say, you know what? I have my kids are old enough, they can start doing some chores. So how is it that I can release some of these beliefs or some of my responsibilities so I can also have that self-care and see what is it, my passion, what is it that I want to do with my life, right? So not to lose our identity as women, also have that identity, that identity,
oh,
even though
that's
we're
great.
moms, wives. Are we here?
That's
Got it?
gonna come back.
I'm
Oh wait,
back.
yeah, it's a new state. Getting back. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
It was kind of a robot voice, so
Yeah,
we'll repeat
let me
again.
go back.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, as women, not to lose our identity, even though we play different roles in our lives, moms, wives, sisters, neighbors. I mean, just give those responsibilities to our family members. Find a way and find your passion. What are you passionate about? So, me, I used to work at a school setting. And then that didn't work out for me. So during this pandemic, I found my passion. I knew that I wanted to empower young girls early in life so they could have the tools. If I hadn't done that change and if I hadn't listened to my inner voice, I wouldn't be here talking to you, Selena, and doing this hard work, right? So, I mean, that's the way I empower the women. I just started this. I'm gonna have a workshop on February 28th for some wonderful moms, and yes, and show them how to shift that mindset from feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and not loving their life to feeling authentically themselves, a little bit more of freedom to do what they really want to do in life. And also, especially, give themselves that self care. I think that's the main thing we need to work on, that self care, giving yourself that space to do what you love to do.
Yeah, I recognize that part as well, because when you become a mother, especially the first time, you want to do everything like so good, and it's like checking all the boxes. You have to be like a good mom, you have to cook healthy, you have to exercise, you have to, and the list goes on and on. If there's a bake sale at school, you have to bake the healthy muffins, you have to be a daughter, you have to be a wife, you have to be, and the list goes on and on. And we're checking all those boxes, but somewhere in between, we are constantly striving to be and to do better, but we forget ourselves. We're so focused on doing our best, on being a good mother, on raising our kids, on providing for our family by taking care of them, by supporting them. And I think it's very important as new mom, but also after that you find a balance in yourself. Who am I? What is my passion? How can mother, how can I be a wife, and how can I be myself, and put it all aligned with each other. I think that's very important to do. um, I'm kind of curious because how do you approach mothers like that when they are like really um, taking care of their family and creating finding their passion and making them more authentic? It's a huge shift. How do you do that? Or can you give some
So
examples?
yeah, so what I work on with the parents, the moms, is about making a list of what is it, all the things they have to do, and then giving some of those responsibilities to others. And also taking small steps. It's like you are doing goal setting, but in small steps, right? Because I also don't want to overwhelm the moms, right? We
No,
have to take small steps in order to get to that big goal.
exactly.
So that's pretty much what I teach the moms to start with.
So you're actually offering them like practical tools to really gain more confidence and to really come closer to themselves and go inward. That is something that's so rewarding, I think, as well. It's kind of a struggle, but it's kind of rewarding as well. I see again some people tuning in. If you have a
Yes.
question in our work or about women and empowerment, do leave them in the comments. We will gladly discuss them. Um, but yeah, I think it's very rewarding. And I also think when the parents or the mothers are making that shift and becoming more and more centered and more in their power, and the young girls are as well, then you create some kind of harmony and some kind of balance so they can grow together. And yeah, I love that mindset. So it's the 28th of February that you have the workshop, yes?
That one would be only for moms. And
Yeah.
for young girls, I have it February 13 for
Uh,
young girls. And the next topic is rock your kindness.
rock your kindness. Can
Rock
you
your kindness.
a little bit more about it? I love it. It's rock your kindness, but can you enlighten us a little bit more?
Yeah, it's about sharing. It could be a nice word to your neighbor, or it can be giving something someone who needs it. Maybe someone is sick right now. So sharing that little, maybe you could take them lunch or with a little note. So just sharing your kindness and spreading your kindness. But I also teach the girls that kindness starts with themselves. So being kind to themselves with their thoughts, their feelings, and their body, right? Because
True.
that's where it starts first with us, so with the girls. And then once they fill up their cup, they're able to go and share that kindness and spread it out to the world. So we
Yeah.
always want to fill up our girls with some goodness before they go out and share it out to the world. And
Wow.
another, yes, so that's a little bit about kindness. Another important thing about us as parents, mothers being empowered, I think it's very important for us to be those leaders and do those things as moms. So, because our girls are going to look, we are going to be their role models, right? So, we
Mhm.
are the ones taking initiative to maybe start a new business or something that you're passionate about, or taking that new job that you've been looking for. If we show up for our girls as leaders, our girls will follow our steps. They will see us get
They will
out there
follow.
and take action.
Yeah, true. They
Mhm.
will follow by example, not only by words. And by leading, you will, yeah, you will get more than just saying things. You have to lead them. You have to be the example. I fully agree. I see a
Yeah.
comment coming in. Somebody saying kindness to yourself first. Yeah, that's so important to be kind to yourself first. Like you say, it starts in
Yes.
yourself. And if you know that we have between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day, approximately, that's a lot. And the majority of them are negative. And it's like our own inner voice talking to ourselves, talking negative, doubting ourselves. Yeah, we all know that inner voice, the critic that is always commenting. Um,
Yeah.
it's quite difficult to shush it from time to time. So if you start again at a very young age to learn how to cope with it, I think that's a very important one as well. So yeah,
Yes. And also to acknowledge that our inner critic is always going to be there.
exactly.
But with the tools that we learn in each workshop, meditation, practicing gratitude, we can kind of hush it and let our self-confidence and our inner voice go up and be a little bit louder. So that's what we are trying to work with, right? Because the inner critic is always going to be there.
Okay. For people that are watching right now and they have children and they're like inspired by, wow, I want to teach my son or daughter how to meditate. Do you have tips? Because we as adults, the very first time you start meditating, you go and sit and your thoughts are like jumping all over the place and you're thinking about everything you have to do, all the errands you have to run, and you have to pick up this and you have to, so you're all over the place. Do you have tips for parents that are tuning in that you say like, to start meditating for children, do this or try that?
Yes, of course. So what has been working through the workshops.
Wait, yeah.
Hi, I'm back. Yeah, so what has been working with my workshops is to do 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes. You can go to YouTube, find a little kid-friendly meditation. What I like about it is doing grounding first, grounding or just being in touch with your senses. And maybe your kid is going to be moving a lot. Let it be. Let it be. It's okay. There's no perfect way of meditation. Right now, I could also be meditating, right? As I'm talking, doing my breath work. So there's no wrong way to meditate. But if you start 5 minutes, find a little YouTube video and something that is playful, maybe your child can first look at the video and then follow with closing their eyes, doing the breath work, right? So it's just introducing them little by little.
All right. I see a comment coming in. I'm going to read. Focus on your strength rather than weakness. Yeah, that's a very important one. And doing what you think you're not good at by this will increase your self-confidence and thereby shut down your inner negative voice. Yeah, that's also very true. The moment you start focusing more on your strength, you will reduce your inner voice. That's so true. That's also an aspect about you're focusing, what we discussed before, it's gratitude, but positive mindset is also how you perceive the world. It's like my cup is half full or half empty. It's the way you approach things as well. So yeah, I fully agree with Raj.
Me too.
Yeah. And
yes,
for sharing this comment with us. Yeah, I fully agree. To go back to the meditation part, I had it with my son in the beginning. It was like kind of a search before we really could find an app or something that was, and it was, Mom, this is kind of boring. How long do I have to sit here, you know? But it's also about true, because I recognize that part, and he's sitting and you see that he's trying like really, really hard to not move, to be quiet, to be, and that's also the point that I said, you know what, move as much as you want.
Yes.
Do whatever you want. You don't have to like step. You can just be whatever you want. And now we found a meditation app, and he's doing it. It's like 8 minutes before bedtime, and then he's going to bed afterwards, safe and sound, and then he sleeps like very deep as well. So it's kind of helping with his sleep pattern as well. But it's kind of nice to see how he has grown in it as well. So yeah. So you do those with your daughters as well?
My daughters? What was your question? Sorry.
Do you do that with your daughters as well? Meditate together, affirmations, vision boards, and those things?
Yes. The cool part about my workshops is that my girls also get to participate and be in the workshop. So they also get to learn the tools, do the empowering craft, and get to have fun with me. That is amazing. But yeah, outside of the workshops, I do practice with them. My husband also is a coach, and he practices a lot of mindfulness with his soccer team. Wow. So he has also integrated that part of being mindful and taking care of your mind also. So we do meditations as a family. Wow. And it has helped us. The benefits of meditation are amazing. Like I said, I'm more present. I feel more lighter, even lighter, you know? It has that.
Yeah, I recognize that the lighter part for me, it's also coping with things. I sometimes when I'm like very busy, I try to meditate like every day, 15 minutes at.
Okay.
But sometimes when you have like busy schedule or I was sick the past days and then you skip days, then you feel like things are changing. When you're meditating, for me, it's also the way you cope with things. When things are happening in your day, like things aren't going well, when you meditate, you can take it in an easier way somehow. It's like you take it in differently. And when you're not meditating, it's like you're more moody or yeah, it's more difficult for me, I think. And energy wise, that's also a game changer. When you meditate, you're more centered, you're more in your power, and your energy is flowing in a different way. And I love that part about meditation as well. That's
Yes. Also, one of the other tools that we also share in that workshop is that we teach the girls peace begins with me. So peace begins with themselves, right? Maybe we have chaos outside right now with the pandemic, the things, politics, the news, but we have the girls. You know what? Peace begins with you. So always take them back to they have the power. Don't give it away to the world.
exactly.
You have the power to choose peace and be in peace with yourself.
Exactly. And why did you focus more on girls? Because you make a difference between girls and boys. Why did you make
Oh,
focus more on girls and not on boys or boys equal?
boys. I think empowerment is for everyone. The reason why I focus on girls is because I do have two young daughters
Mhm.
and I wanted to make an impact on them. But as I have been growing on this and sharing actually what I'm doing with my community,
Mhm.
I started doing workshops at schools. So boys and girls are also getting these tools. So I'm going into the schools and teaching them about gratitude and teaching them about self-love and self-confidence.
Very
So
important.
I think boys and girls need to be empowered.
Yeah, exactly. That's also something I
Uh-huh.
when during the live, this is the 19th or 18th, no, 19th interview in a series already. I received a question a while ago about feminism and women and empowerment. For me, there's a huge difference between feminism and when we speak about women and empowerment. But I also want to check with you, is there a difference for you between those two, and what is the difference?
I think for me, woman empowerment is about empowering yourself, working with yourself,
Mhm.
and then also working with other women,
Mhm.
right? Lifting each other up, seeing that goodness in that other woman,
Mhm.
and even congratulating your female entrepreneurs out there and working together. I mean, doing this live with you, Selena, it's amazing. So you bring in the tools and I bring in the tools and we are co-creating. We are co-creating.
Oh,
So I mean, women empowerment for me, it's that
yeah,
co-creating and lifting each other up.
yeah, that's so true. Lifting each other up
Yes.
and yeah, shining a light together, helping each other grow. It's not like we're a competition or we have to
No.
be better than one another. Very important one. We should lift each other up and grow together. We can learn so much from each other. Even
Yes.
like things that you're saying, the way you empower young girls, this is also new for me. So yeah, thank you very much for making time
You're
to.
welcome.
Um, Another question that I also receive a lot of times, the majority of time from men, is that they say like women nowadays it's all about empowering women and strong and independent women. Are men nowadays, according to your opinion, ready to receive more independent and empowered women?
From my experience, I think yes.
Hmm.
I mean, I do have a husband who's very open-minded, and he's like, "Go for it. If it makes you feel happy, go for it." When I used to work at a school setting, I also used to work with men, and they would always be like, "How is it? How can I help you? What?" I mean, they were always there to help me out. So based on my experiences, I think men are more open
Yeah.
to that women empowerment. It's not about making the men less. No, it's about working together as well. We can also work and empower each other. Why not? You know?
Exactly. That's also what I believe when I ask a question. I have they ask me that question a lot of times, like why women and empowerment? Why is the focus only on women and not on men? We are the same. And in a lot of ways, women and men are the same, but I think it's about working together. It's about finding a balance together and about also a little bit equal rights. Just blend in together and make it work together. It's not men are more or women are more. We all have a feminine and a masculine side inside of us. It is about just being ourselves authentically and empowering each other and help each other grow and become the best version of yourself. That's yeah, that's for me women and empowerment. And I also think it is kind of inspiring to talk with a lot of women from all over the world sharing their thoughts about this topic. So yeah. But it's so cool that you also have a man that is also into coaching. You can support and uplift each other on that level as well, no?
Yeah, it is. It is empowering because I also learned some things, or I also learned how boys or men think, right? Many other times we have different beliefs,
Yeah,
different beliefs for women and different beliefs for men, right? The man, well, in my culture, I come from a Latin culture, so it's like men couldn't cry, they couldn't share their emotions.
wow.
So now I kind of understand maybe better the men, right? When they can express their emotions, I could see that. I could see that maybe there's a little bit of pain, but it's a time to shift our mindset and say, you know what, men are also able to express their feelings if they're sad, if they're stressed. I mean, they also go through stress, so why suppress the emotions? No,
Exactly.
let's be
Yeah.
authentic and share.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge fan of that one as well, and I experience it in my coaching as well. I have a lot of male men I coach as well, but they struggle with it as well. That they ask me like, "Hey, I see a strong, independent woman, and I have all those feelings, but I learned to suppress them. I didn't learn to show my vulnerability, to be authentic. How do I approach a woman like that? What can I offer?" Because for so many decades, a man was the one who's providing for their family, going to work and arrange everything. But nowadays, those things are more in balance between men and women. So they also like kind of confused. How can I approach a woman like that? What can I offer? And I think it's
Sure.
also a part of society, how we stand in our femininity, but also how is a man dealing with his part of being a man and providing and everything around that as well. Do you notice those things as well in your coaching when you speak about motherhood and everything? Yeah, with the coaching with the mothers.
I do have some of the moms that have sons, and I do experience that. But we also talk about empowering those beliefs. I mean, disempowering those beliefs and empowering the new mindset, right? That we're
Yeah.
able to express ourselves how we are authentically are. I
Mhm.
mean, if your son would like to play, let's say, with the dolls one day because he has sisters, I mean, why not? You know, he's just playing. It's pretend, right? So kind of dismantle those beliefs that we had.
Yeah. Do you notice a difference when moms start talking and they share things about educating their children and parenting? Is there a difference between girls and boys? That do you notice differences or not really?
Not really. It's pretty much the same topics.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think we as parents go through the same challenges. I
Yeah.
mean, especially when they hit puberty. I
Oh,
mean, it's the feelings, it's the emotions, especially when they start liking the little friend, right? So it could be the same kind of dialogue for a woman as a man, a
yeah.
boy and a girl.
Yeah. I do.
So
I do notice from time to time. I think that girls are still a little bit more protective, raised more protectively than boys. I think. Do you notice that difference as well?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
Yes, women are more protected, especially in our culture. The land culture, we still set those boundaries, right? I mean, maybe the boy can go and play with his friends and it's okay. We just give him a call. But the girl is like either send her with a chaperone or make sure where she's at each minute, right? So I think there's still those differences. And hopefully we shift with these young generations and giving them the tools, we shift that mindset.
Yeah, exactly. We're almost heading to the end of the live. I think we have like 13 minutes left. So before I ask the last question that I end the live with, is there anything I want to thank you first of all for being here, for making the time, for sharing all those things. Is there anything you want to share with the viewers that you want to, yeah, kind of a message that you want to share?
Yeah, yes, thank you for this opportunity, Selina. I want to share with the audience is that follow your passion, whatever inspires you, go for it. Even if all the self-doubt and all the inner critic is telling you not to, take that step forward, step out of your comfort zone. Little by little, it's gonna take practice. We are not we cannot have everything lined up, like all the duckies lined up in order to take action. No, we can take imperfect action and go for what moves us, inspires us, and lights us up. So that's my message.
Oh, I love it. I really love it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of doing things out of your comfort zone. It's one of my goals every year again, do things out of my comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. If we stay in our comfort zone, we're not growing. And I really think that's so important. Find your passion and push yourself from time to time. And if it's difficult, find people, surround yourself with people who can help you through that process. I think it's so, so empowering. Yeah. Yeah, last question. Majority of the time, and not the majority, actually almost always, I ask the question, what would you tell your 13-year-old self with all the knowledge that you have today?
That her voice is important, speaking up how she feels, what she's going through, and reaching out when she needs help, reaching out when she needs to be heard, when she wants to be heard. So speak up.
Wow, that's very beautiful. That's really, really beautiful and very important as well. As a young girl and for everyone in life, speak up, show yourself and be yourself. And
Yes.
find yourself, and when you do that, empower others like you're doing with those young girls and with those mothers as well. So yeah, I would say keep on shining and keep on spreading those vibes, because I think it's like really, really important what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, I don't know if there are people still having questions.
If there's any questions,
then now is the moment. Thank you very much. If I saw your mail address in the comments. Maybe afterwards I will post this IGTV. You can leave it there again. People can go to your page. Yes, Girl Life. If they have any questions after this live, they can contact you by direct message or mailing you. And the workshops were for the girls the 13th of February, for the moms the 28th of February, and there's still places, right?
yes, yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Everybody's saying very powerful. Thank you for always being you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. She's one of our facilitators as well. Thank you for this opportunity, Selina. You too.
Welcome. More than welcome.
Keep shining your light and sharing your tools. I love following you. You always have useful tips and useful information. And most importantly, I'm glad that you're back and that you're ready to celebrate your birthday.
It was quite it were tough weeks the past 2 weeks, but we are back, and fingers crossed. Yes, next Monday, my birthday, another year full of adventures, full of experiences. I'm ready for it. So thank you very much in advance.
You're welcome.
And I love the compliment. is like a huge compliment. Thank you for always being you. That is, I would write it on my mirror and look at it every day.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Luz, for being here, for sharing your thoughts, your experiences, and your work with us. It was truly inspiring. Thank you for everybody who tuned in, and stay tuned because next week we are again here with another interview. And yeah, we will keep in touch by Instagram. So stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Luz, and
You're welcome.
all the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.